In recent months, the US government has repeatedly accused China of genocide against the Uyghur population in China's Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region.
Genocide is happening in China to the minority Uyghur population.
The House of Commons voted overwhelmingly 266-0 to call China's treatment of the Uyghur population, the Muslim minority in Western China, a genocide.
We've been very clear that what has taken place in Xinjiang was genocide. We've also been very clear that it constitutes crimes against humanity.
However, a US investigation journalism website, The Grey Zone, has found out the accusations have all relied on the work of religious extremist Adrian Zanz. Journalists at The Grey Zone found that Adrian Zanz is a far-right Christian fundamentalist. He deplores homosexuality and gender equality and has claimed he's led by God against China's government. After reviewing Zanz's research, The Grey Zone found out his assertions are full of flagrant data abuse, fraudulent claims, cherry-picking of source material, and propagandist misrepresentations. Let's look at what they found. A newspaper for a US conservative think tank last year, the way in which Zanz justifies conclusion is problematic. Zanz asserted that his findings provide the strongest evidence that policies in Xinjiang meet one of the genocide criteria cited in the UN Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide. But the convention actually stresses that an act can only be defined as genocide if it was intended to destroy certain groups. His understanding of the genocide was taken out of context and unfounded.
Well, it's remarkable that this incendiary and very consequential claim of genocide is based on research that is not carried out in an academic setting, not published in an academic journal, not authored by someone who has ever been to the region he claims expertise in, and who is not even a China scholar with any record of China scholarship, and it's unclear if they even speak Chinese.
In his paper, Zanz claimed that the family planning policy in Xinjiang has targeted Uyghur population on purpose. However, despite the fact that China's overall birth rate has fallen precipitously in recent years across the demographic spectrum, even the statistics Zanz cited in his own report has falsified his conclusion. On paper 8 of his report, a figure shows that Uyghur population in Xinjiang has been growing steadily. Instead, it is the Han population that has dropped significantly in recent years. In fact, unlike the Han ethnic people, the Uyghur people were exempted from the one-child policy. Urban Uyghur couples could have 2 children and rural Uyghur couples 3. The Chinese government made efforts to improve the health infrastructure in rural areas of Xinjiang, but this effort has been framed by Zanz in his paper as evidence of genocide in the making. One of the photos studied by Zanz shows Uyghur residents of rural areas of Xinjiang receiving medical consultation and a free health clinic. He interpreted this as a means to control population growth and enforce the thorough implementation of increasingly intrusive birth control measures. But according to the original source of the photo, the scene was of doctors measuring blood pressure, electrocardiogram, blood sugar, height and weight for poor villagers for free. At a factual level, the findings of the Grey Zone undercut the credibility of Zanz's report and shows that as a far-right religious extremist, his research on Xinjiang is biased. So, are the US government's accusations against China based on this report? What do you think of the Grey Zone's discoveries? What other fact-checking would you like to see on the Zanz report? Feel free to share with your thoughts with us.